Hello, this is video lesson number 2 for Hamlet for my freshmen. Remember, freshmen, this is about enrichment. This is not required. But if there's other people who have tuned in and would like to follow along with what I'm posting, I will post the links that I put in Google Classroom also at the bottom of this YouTube video. So, big ideas, moving from Act 1, Act 2 to Act 3. We read Act 1 last week. Students read Act 2 on their own after Tuesday's video. And one of the things that I look at is this quest for truth. How are different characters trying to find out truth? What is truth? And is it appropriate to seek truth in devious means, which is something that Polonius is working on? Is it still relevant today to be seeking truth? And what is the way that you would like to focus on seeking truth? So a quick review on Act 2. Scene 1, we have Polonius and his servant, Rinaldo. He sends Rinaldo to Paris to basically spy on his son, Laertes. And he wants him to talk to other Danes in kind of a leading fashion. So if you look at lines 19 to 24, Polonius says to Rinaldo, but if it be he, I mean, he's very wild, addicted to so-and-so, and there put on him what forgeries you please. Marry, none so rank as may dishonor him, take heed of that. But sir, such wanton, wild, and usual slips, as our companions noted and most known to youth and liberty. So he's asking Rinaldo to kind of fish around and sort of put little hints to see if other information will come back to him. Polonius thinks he's very clever for doing this, but I would like to ask you, as the students, would you be okay with your parents sending a spy out to intersect your friends and try to see if there's any dirt on you in this fashion? I think most people would not be super excited about that. So Polonius is seeking truth, this idea of truth, but it is in an unsavory fashion. The other event that happens in scene 1 is Ophelia, in tears, distraught, comes to her father Polonius, and she is worried about Hamlet and that he's acting strangely. Remember back in Act 1, Hamlet said he was going to pretend to be crazy. So we have that to consider. And then scene 2, which is very long, it starts with the king and queen, and they have asked Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to come to court. They are friends of Hamlet's, school friends of Hamlet's. And again, are they spying, or are they really interested in Hamlet's well-being? They're very interested in the king's favor, that's for sure. So this is an interesting development, and Hamlet, when we get over here after some other things, he's a little suspicious of their motives too. He really tries to press upon them why they're there. He even says, Denmark is a prison. Like, why would you come back here? We also have a moment where Polonius says he knows why Hamlet is troubled. He exits. Then the queen says to the king, so Polonius is convinced, but the queen is not necessarily convinced. And she says something that's kind of interesting. She says, Polonius is not in the room at this time, to her king about this distemper, as they quote it, for Hamlet. I doubt it is no other than the main, his father's death and our over-hasty marriage. So she's already thinking about why Hamlet might be feeling unsettled and morose and acting strangely. So then Polonius returns with the letter from Hamlet to Ophelia that Ophelia has given to him. In this moment, we learn that Polonius he talks too much. He talks all the time. So he is trying to tell the king and queen how he is sure that the problem is that he told Ophelia, his daughter, to stop accepting favors from Hamlet. And that is what is bothering Hamlet. And at one point he even says, brevity is the soul of wit. And this is ironic because brevity, meaning brief, is not what Polonius is all about. Queen tells him to get on with his story. Polonius, he reads the letter. In the meantime, while he's reading the letter, he's actually critiquing it at the same time. Not exactly excited about some of the wording that Hamlet has used, which is ridiculous. Like, that's not even part of what he should be doing at that moment. Polonius says that he will talk with Hamlet to see what's going on, and then maybe at a later time they could spy on Hamlet when the two young people are alone. Polonius does end up talking with Hamlet right after that, but he doesn't quite understand what Hamlet is saying. Famous line at this point, though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Then we have Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. They show up. We have Hamlet is suspicious, but they also give him some information about some traveling actors that are coming to the palace. And Hamlet starts to get interested because he has this idea that he'll have them tweak their play a little bit to show a kind of reenactment of how Hamlet believes his father was killed by his uncle. So then we are finally given, and I mentioned this in the last video, that we're given this information about why Hamlet is delaying to act. He says, the spirit that I have seen may be a devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this, the place, the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. So here we see Hamlet is a little uncertain about the ghost. Is it a devil or is it really his father? So setting things up, adding some tension, looking ahead, Polonius, his motivation, and being an unlikable character. Think about all the aspects of Polonius. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, what is their motivation? Ophelia and Hamlet, are they really in love? How are they treating each other? What's the dynamic here about their relationship? Please, if you're following along, read Act 3 by Tuesday, March 24th. I added this note about the climax in a Shakespeare play. There are always 5 acts, and then the 3rd act is where we find the climax. So as you're reading, what's the turning point in this particular spot? Sorry, it's a little long. I hope this was interesting. Please let me know if you have any questions or you want me to go in some other direction. Keep your comments kind and school appropriate. Have a great day. Stay safe, everyone. Take care.